Have you ever wondered what happens after the whole country turns its back on you? When a television network ends a $69 million contract? When every word you say is dissected and spread like a public sentence? Megyn Kelly didn't disappear. She started over from a small studio, a microphone, and her own voice. Just a few years later, she was living in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Rye, driving a Bentley Bentayga worth over $180,000, and running a podcast empire that could change conservative media in America. With an estimated net worth of about $45 million, this is not just the story of a young girl who once quietly counted every penny to buy law books after her father's death. It's the journey of a woman who rose up amidst scandal, built a multi-million-dollar empire, turned pain into strength, and transformed skepticism into a legacy. And today, you and I will walk into that journey together. Have you ever wondered what makes an ordinary girl from a small town become a national icon? For Megyn Kelly, the answer doesn't lie in luck or opportunity. It begins with an unforgettable loss. For a long time, she thought she wasn't good enough to step onto any stage. Megyn Marie Kelly was born on November 18, 1970, in Champaign, Illinois. Her father, Edward, was an education professor, and her mother, Linda, was a homemaker. Megyn was the youngest of 3 siblings. Her childhood was marked by winter afternoons in their small home, where her father would read by the fireplace and her mother prepared simple dinners. When Megyn was 15, her father suddenly passed away from a heart attack. This loss not only left a financial gap, but also plunged the family into an emotional crisis. Her mother had to work full-time, often coming home when it was already dark. At that time, Megyn once said, "Even my mother's sleep was a sacrifice." As the youngest, Megyn was not given specific responsibilities, but that made her feel like a shadow. Suzanne took over the household chores for their mother, and Pete tried to be strong. As for Megyn, she withdrew, asking herself, "What can I do to help?" The family moved to Del Mar, New York. Megyn enrolled at Bethlehem Central High. As the new girl, she wasn't particularly noticeable. Despite joining the cheerleading squad, she still felt like an outsider among all the cliques. There was a time when she quietly watched the cheerleaders perform in the schoolyard, wondering if she would ever be noticed like the most popular girl in class. While her best friend Lisa showed off her sparkling prom dress, Megyn counted every penny to help her mother pay the bills. No one knew about the journals she wrote in secret, where she wondered if her dream of becoming someone with a voice was too far out of reach. "I wasn't sure I had any talent. I just knew that if I didn't try, no one else would do it for me." After high school, she pursued a political science degree at Syracuse University. No scholarships, no special treatment. She worked part-time at the school library, shelving books late into the night to afford textbooks, while her roommate went to concerts. There were times when she had to choose between buying books or calling home. Even so, Megyn didn't stop. She continued her studies and graduated from Albany Law School in 1995. There, she still kept a distance from the crowd, not because she was shy, but because deep inside she always feared, "I'm not good enough." If you've ever doubted yourself, ever questioned if you're on the right path, Megyn Kelly's story is a reminder that you are not alone. She wasn't born into ideal circumstances. She only knew to hold on to what was right and never let go. Today, when Megyn Kelly appears on television, many see confidence and sharpness. But only a few know that there was a time when she sat alone in her dorm room, crossing off each day on the calendar as if counting down to a life-changing opportunity. For those who have experienced loss, those who have started over from scratch, Megyn Kelly is not just a television personality. She is a symbol of quiet determination, proof that difficulties do not define you. How you overcome them is what makes you who you are. How does a girl who once thought she wasn't good enough become someone who makes even a president think twice? And would you have the courage to give up stability in your 30s? To start over with a starting salary? And no one remembering your name? Megyn Kelly did just that. And today, she owns a media empire worth tens of millions of dollars. Graduating from Albany Law School in 1995, Megyn Kelly entered the world of law. She worked at Bickel and Brewer, and then Jones Day, representing major clients like Experian. A stable job, high income, but Megyn felt like she was losing something. One night at Jones Day, she looked at the clock reading 2 a.m., her desk piled with paperwork, and thought, "Am I sacrificing my passion just to hold on to security?" In 2003, at the age of 32, Megyn gave up her law career. There was no offer from a TV station, just the determination to start over. She studied journalism at NBC Chicago, then became a reporter at WJLA-TV in D.C. On rainy nights, she ran all over City Hall to report, only for the story to be cut down to 30 seconds. But she never complained. "Every step in the rain brought me closer to my dream," she said. Would you dare to give up security to follow your passion in your 30s? Megyn did. In 2004, she joined Fox News, starting with a segment called Kelly's Court, where she analyzed the law with sharp insight, earning the audience's praise as the truth teller. By 2010, she was hosting America Live, and in 2013 launched The Kelly File. The show quickly became one of the top-rated programs on Fox News, with 2.5 million viewers every night. Megyn took the show to the same level as seasoned names like Bill O'Reilly and became a top figure in conservative media. In 2015, she caught the nation's attention when she asked Donald Trump tough questions during the presidential debate. Although she faced criticism afterward, Megyn didn't back down. Her steadfast demeanor only reinforced her reputation as an unshakable journalist. Older viewers didn't just see a reporter. They saw courage, maturity, and the ability to maintain composure under pressure. In 2017, Megyn signed a $69 million contract with NBC, an enviable salary. She hosted Sunday Night with Megyn Kelly, where she interviewed Russian President Vladimir Putin, a clear testament to her sharpness and international credibility. However, her morning show, Megyn Kelly Today, didn't live up to expectations. NBC wanted her to be softer and more relatable, while Megyn stuck to her strong, firm style. "I learned that failure isn't a stopping point. It's where you choose your next path," she said. Though the show ended early, Megyn still walked away with $30 million, a financial victory amid a television setback. But she didn't stop. She reinvented herself once again. Megyn founded Devil May Care Media and self-produced The Megyn Kelly Show. In the early days, she set up her own mic and wrote her own scripts, just like when she first started at WJLA. But this time, she was in full control. In 2020, she signed a deal with SiriusXM, and by 2025, her show had over 3.2 million followers on YouTube. While Oprah Winfrey built her empire with support from major networks, Megyn had to knock on every door herself. Oprah had the spotlight waiting for her. Megyn had to light it herself with sheer willpower. From sleepless nights spent counting pennies for books, Megyn now has a net worth of over $45 million. But for her, success isn't just about the numbers. It's about being able to speak what she believes is right. She is proof that if you're not afraid to start over, not afraid of change, then no matter your age, you can build your own empire. Once counting every penny to buy law books in a cramped dorm room, today, Megyn Kelly lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion, drives a Bentley upholstered in Italian leather, and flies chartered flights to Saint-Tropez just to find peace. But what makes her wealth truly special is not the numbers. It's how she transforms everything around her into a symbol of resilience and personality. Penthouse at Upper West Side, million-dollar views of New York's skyline. On the top floor of a historic building in the Upper West Side, just a few steps from Central Park, Megyn Kelly once owned a $7.2 million penthouse. It was not just real estate, but a living space for those who dared to dream big and live differently. The apartment seemed suspended in the sky, where every morning the first rays of sunshine poured through floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a golden glow across the white oak floors. When the glass door to the balcony was opened, you could see the quiet flow of the Hudson River beneath your feet, and the city unfolded like a peaceful painting. Inside was a perfect blend of aesthetics and technology. A Calacatta marble kitchen, voice-controlled lighting, and music filling the room from hidden ceiling speakers. High ceilings, open spaces, and the constant scent of lavender in the air, creating a luxury that money can't buy. Absolute peace, right in the heart of busy New York. This is where Megyn once called the place I catch my breath, after being scrutinized by the whole country. It was also where she wrote the first draft of her book, Settle for More, with her laptop next to the window overlooking the illuminated Manhattan skyline at night. Mansion in Rye, a vibrant home in nature. About an hour's drive from the city, in the coastal town of Rye, Megyn Kelly and her family live in a sprawling estate, where peace doesn't mean dullness. The house, estimated at around $4 million USD, holds its true value in the sense of belonging it provides. As you pass through the wrought iron gates, you'll see 2 rows of brilliant red maple trees leading to a stone-paved walkway. The air smells of salty sea and dry leaves, the scent of fall in the northeast, evoking warmth and nostalgia. The dining room is decorated with a crystal chandelier, but the most special part lies in the back. An English-style garden meticulously cared for, with a white tea table under a wisteria trellis. Every weekend afternoon, her family enjoys dinner outdoors, with the laughter of children blending with the sound of birds in the forest. This is not a mansion to flaunt. It's a home that not everyone gets the chance to build. Bentley Bentayga EWB Mulliner, a symbol of luxury. The Bentley Bentayga EWB Mulliner, a $300,000 USD luxury SUV, is the embodiment of opulence and ultimate comfort. It's no surprise that Megyn Kelly chose it as her companion for important meetings or when she needs to move between studios. The interior is upholstered with high-quality Italian leather, with a walnut wood trim on the dashboard, multi-point massage settings for the rear seats, adjustable headrests, and even a mini fridge between the seats. Truly a mobile living room. Every time the door shuts, you're immediately enveloped in near-total silence. An experience that can't be described with words, only felt. This isn't a car for someone who wants to show off. It's for someone who understands that true power is always silent. Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, speed with control. Megyn Kelly owns a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, one of the rarest and most expensive sports cars ever produced by Mercedes, with a current market price ranging from $500,000 to over $700,000 USD, depending on the version. With its supercharged V8 engine, 617 horsepower, and acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.4 seconds, this car has been likened to a grounded aircraft. But what makes it special is not just the speed. It's the image of Megyn stepping out of the scissor doors in a white suit, with the red taillights shimmering behind her. A moment like something out of Hollywood. The matte black carbon interior, handcrafted red leather seats, and fighter jet-like seating make this car not just a statement of class, but also a clear message. She doesn't follow trends. She creates them. Range Rover Autobiography: When Power Meets the Ground. You might think someone like Megyn Kelly only drives supercars, but for her everyday life, driving the kids to school, stopping by the store, or strolling through the quiet streets of Rye, she chooses the Range Rover Autobiography, a $175,000 version. This vehicle symbolizes the perfect combination of strength and elegance. The seats are upholstered in premium Windsor leather. The rear seat entertainment system features dual screens, and the front and rear seats offer heating, cooling, and massage functions. Notably, Megyn's Range Rover comes with a signature customization package, offering a limousine-like experience within an off-road SUV. This is a choice that is not flashy, but makes others take notice due to its subtle power and sophistication. First-class and private jet charters, when time must serve her schedule. Megyn Kelly doesn't own a private jet, at least not according to public records. But that doesn't mean she doesn't live like she owns one. With a packed schedule, events spanning across the U.S., from New York to Los Angeles, from media conferences to university workshops, Megyn chooses the most efficient way to travel: private jet charters and first-class seats on top international airlines like Delta One and Emirates First. On one trip from New York to Palm Springs for a short family vacation, she flew on a Gulfstream G280, a mid-sized jet known for its quiet cabin and high speed. It's no coincidence that she opts for such flights. For Megyn, time is a currency, and in the air, she's still working, reading scripts, editing podcasts, or simply finding her breath after intense on-air moments. Luxury fashion: when every outfit is a statement. Even off-stage, Megyn Kelly appears as if leading a global fashion campaign. Every time she steps out of her black Escalade, photographers are there, not because of any scandal. Her wardrobe is a fashion dream. Dior sheath dresses, cream-colored suits from Ralph Lauren Purple Label, suede Manolo Blahnik heels, and Bottega Veneta clutches. Once, she appeared on the red carpet, in a sleek black couture gown from Oscar de la Renta's collection, rumored to be worth over $20,000. Neat, not revealing, yet absolutely elegant. For Megyn, style isn't about drawing attention, it's about making people unable to look away. Wine and fine dining. In a recent podcast, Megyn shared a night in Saint-Emilion, France, where she and her husband, along with a few close friends, dined at a Michelin-rated wine cellar. Each dish was paired with an aged wine, from a 1989 Bordeaux to a Bourgogne Pinot Noir worth over $1,500. She's not a sommelier, but she speaks about wine as if telling a story. At private dinners in her Rye home, Megyn often begins the evening with Dom Perignon Rosé Vintage Champagne, a type she describes as silky as velvet and as strong as a well-timed opinion. This is not about showing off. It's a lifestyle where every experience, even a glass of wine, is worth celebrating. Luxurious travel. Redefining vacation. Not just for relaxation, Megyn turns each trip into a journey of redefining life's balance. In France, she chose the Château de la Messardière Hotel in Saint-Tropez, where each room has a private balcony overlooking the Mediterranean, and the interiors are entirely upholstered in sapphire velvet. She once took her whole family to Provence, renting a villa among ancient vineyards, drinking coffee on a stone terrace in the morning, and strolling through a flea market in the afternoon, hunting for handmade pottery. When free, she quietly sat on the balcony, her white linen dress fluttering in the wind, wearing her pink Hermes Oran sandals. In Megyn's world, travel is not an escape. It's about expanding oneself. Modern balance, when yoga, meditation, and podcasts merge. A very personal pleasure of Megyn's is her silent mornings. She often wakes up at 5:30 a.m., opens the window to the garden, brews a cup of matcha, and lays out her meditation mat. No phone, no news, just the sound of birds and a light symphony. She practices advanced vinyasa yoga and has invited psychological therapists, meditation experts, and neuroscientists to her podcast. For Megyn, caring for the mind is as important as nurturing her career, even more so. When the television lights go off, she doesn't chase silence, she creates it. From the old mansion in Rye to a bottle of Bordeaux opened on a quiet afternoon, from the roar of the McLaren engine to the deep meditation breath at 5 a.m. Every detail of Megyn Kelly's life shows not just success, but also reveals her philosophy. The true luxury is not in what you flaunt, but in what you're confident enough to live with, in silence. Once counting every penny to buy law books in a cramped dorm room, today Megyn Kelly lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion, drives a Bentley upholstered in Italian leather, and flies chartered flights to Saint-Tropez just to find peace. But what makes her wealth truly special is not the numbers. It's how she transforms everything around her into a symbol of resilience and personality. Penthouse at Upper West Side. Million-dollar views of New York's skyline. On the top floor of a historic building in the Upper West Side, just a few steps from Central Park, Megyn Kelly once owned a $7.2 million penthouse. It was not just real estate, but a living space for those who dared to dream big and live differently. The apartment seemed suspended in the sky, where every morning the first rays of sunshine poured through floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a golden glow across the white oak floors. When the glass door to the balcony was opened, you could see the quiet flow of the Hudson River beneath your feet, and the city unfolded like a peaceful painting. NBC and the blackface controversy. When one remark can end an entire show. In October 2018, during her show Megyn Kelly Today on NBC, Megyn made a comment about how dressing up as a black person wasn't considered wrong in the past. Despite her public apology the following day, the show was canceled, and her $69 million contract was terminated just over a year after starting. But she did not fade away as many predicted. Megyn started her own media company, developed a podcast with millions of views, building a new empire from the ashes of her television career. While Matt Lauer, her former NBC colleague, lost everything and couldn't return, Megyn walked away with $30 million, then came back with her own podcast empire, proving failure is not the end. It's the first chapter of rebirth. When failure strikes, will you quit or rebuild? Megyn chose to build, and she built stronger than ever. Santa Claus is a white man. The first lesson on live television. In 2013, while hosting the Kelly File on Fox News, Megyn said in a light-hearted segment, "Santa Claus is a white man, and so is Jesus." Although she later explained she was referring to a popular cultural icon, the comment immediately sparked a debate about race. Instead of placing blame, Megyn spoke out to clarify her position, gradually learning how to control her language on air, a vital lesson in the broadcasting industry that she still carries with her today. She didn't turn her back on the past. She used it to refine her style and became one of the highest-paid anchors in the world. Taylor Swift and the cultural clash. When taking a stand comes at a high price, in 2024, during an episode of her podcast, Megyn Kelly criticized Taylor Swift for openly supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. While many celebrities tend to avoid politics to maintain their fan base, Megyn declared, "If you step into politics, be prepared to be critiqued like any politician." The backlash exploded on social media, but Megyn did not back down. She continued to release her podcast regularly, standing firm in her views. While stars choose silence to maintain sponsorship deals, Megyn speaks what she believes is right, even knowing the price could be millions of followers. Would you stay silent to be liked or speak up to be respected? Megyn Kelly does not shy away from controversy. But what sets her apart is not the scandals. It's how she emerges from them. Every cut is a lesson, and every fall is a springboard. She didn't build her career just under the spotlight. She built it through those moments when the spotlight was harshest on her. And she still stands strong. Do you have the courage to stand up when the whole world turns its back on you? For Megyn Kelly, every scandal is not a failure, but an opportunity to prove she is stronger than ever. And it is those controversial moments that helped her transform, not only into a media icon, but also into a symbol of independence. Confronting Donald Trump. A question that shook the political arena in 2015 during the first Republican debate hosted by Fox News, Megyn Kelly asked Donald Trump a direct question about his offensive remarks towards women. Trump responded with a series of personal attacks, making Kelly the target of national criticism. Despite concerns for her family's safety, she did not back down. A year later, she invited Trump for a live interview, showing that navigating a crisis was not about emotional reactions, but professionalism. While many journalists avoid tough questions to safeguard their careers, Megyn chose to face it, knowing the storm was waiting backstage. Have you ever faced criticism but kept moving forward? Megyn did. Roger Ailes and the sexual harassment scandal at Fox News, when silence is no longer an option. In 2016, after Gretchen Carlson sued Fox News CEO Roger Ailes for sexual harassment, Megyn Kelly shockingly confirmed that she too had been a victim. She did not sue, but her testimony was a crucial piece that led to Ailes's resignation. She wasn't the one who started the Me Too movement, but she was one of the first to pave the way in an environment where silence was once considered safe. Rather than remain silent, Megyn wrote about her experience in her memoir, Settle for More, turning her personal story into a message of justice. Would you dare to speak the truth, knowing the cost? She chose to, and has no regrets. NBC and the blackface controversy, when one remark can end an entire show. In October 2018, during her show Megyn Kelly Today on NBC, Megyn made a comment about how dressing up as a black person wasn't considered wrong in the past. Despite her public apology the following day, the show was canceled, and her $69 million contract was terminated just over a year after starting. But she did not fade away as many predicted. Megyn started her own media company, developed a podcast with millions of views, building a new empire from the ashes of her television career. While Matt Lauer, her former NBC colleague, lost everything and couldn't return, Megyn walked away with $30 million, then came back with her own podcast empire, proving failure is not the end, it's the first chapter of rebirth. When failure strikes, will you quit or rebuild? Megyn chose to build, and she built stronger than ever. Santa Claus is a white man, the first lesson on live television. In 2013, while hosting the Kelly File on Fox News, Megyn said in a light-hearted segment, "Santa Claus is a white man, and so is Jesus." Although she later explained she was referring to a popular cultural icon, the comment immediately sparked a debate about race. Instead of placing blame, Megyn spoke out to clarify her position, gradually learning how to control her language on air, a vital lesson in the broadcasting industry that she still carries with her today. She didn't turn her back on the past. She used it to refine her style and became one of the highest-paid anchors in the world. Taylor Swift and the cultural clash, when taking a stand, comes at a high price. In 2024, during an episode of her podcast, Megyn Kelly criticized Taylor Swift for openly supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. While many celebrities tend to avoid politics to maintain their fan base, Megyn declared, "If you step into politics, be prepared to be critiqued like any politician." The backlash exploded on social media. But Megyn did not back down. She continued to release her podcast regularly, standing firm in her views. While stars choose silence to maintain sponsorship deals, Megyn speaks what she believes is right, even knowing the price could be millions of followers. Would you stay silent to be liked, or speak up to be respected? Megyn Kelly does not shy away from controversy, but what sets her apart is not the scandals. It's how she emerges from them. Every cut is a lesson, and every fall is a springboard. She didn't build her career just under the spotlight. She built it through those moments when the spotlight was harshest on her. And she still stands strong.